Should you pre-sell or should you do the traditional rank and rent method? That's the question I want to answer in this video. If you guys have no idea what we're talking about, we are talking about the digital real estate business model. We also call it website rental. We also call it rank and rent. It is the simplest business model on the internet. And for those of you that are brand new to this channel or this video just popped up in your feed, this is how easy it is, guys. You pick a city and a niche, let's say tree service. And you pick a city, let's say Las Vegas, Nevada, tree service, Las Vegas. You build a simple website, use any platform, WordPress, Weebly, Wix, who cares? Okay. Build a simple website, very simple website, 5-page website minimum or maximum. Okay. 5-page website. Then you're going to go and use simple SEO techniques to rank the website. When people search tree service Las Vegas, when people search tree service near me and they're in Las Vegas, tree service company, you're going to show up for it, right? That's why you do SEO. You rank it to the top of Google. Then what you do is you take those websites, you rent them out to local business owners. That's the model we're talking about. That's how simple this is. I've been doing this model exclusively since 2020. Yeah, I think it was 2020 was when I stopped doing everything else. Before that, I was doing SEO. Before that, I was doing, consulting and social media marketing, blah, 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 blah. And finally, I was like, this is the model. This is the one that's going to get me free. And that's what I'm doing. In this video, for those of you that are new, we're talking about two different methods, right? There's two ways you can do this. You can go and do the traditional method where you build a website, you pick a niche, you build a website, and you rank it. And by the way, the one thing that you should know is if you do decide to do that method, it's going to take you 4 to 6 to 8 months to rank the website. It just is. That's how it works. It takes time with Google. You don't rank overnight. Anybody that tells you can rank in a month, it's probably black hat stuff you want to stay away from. I've very, very, very rarely seen a website rank in under 2 months. I've seen it like once, twice, okay? And it's because I did very, very strong due diligence and there was no competition, all that kind of stuff. The other method, this is one that I do exclusively, is called pre-selling. This is where you get a business owner up front to pay for your project, to pay for your website, to pay for your asset, your little website, and they're paying you every single month while the website is ranking and you're making the money at the same time. Okay. Now, some of you guys are like, how does this work? I've talked about it so many times that you just go watch a couple of videos, type in pre-selling Nick Wood or look at my channel, type in pre-selling, you're going to find it. Okay. But essentially in a nutshell, what you do is you're not going to build a real website. You're going to build a landing page, run a couple ads, get a few phone calls, use those phone calls with a great script, lock the deal down, and then you're going to build out the project on the back end. Okay. You're just taking the model, we're flipping it on its head. So in this video, I'm going to cover which one should you do. Okay, so maybe you're new to this business, maybe you're trying to get in, you've seen a bunch of videos by these other courses, these other people that are teaching it the traditional way. I like to kind of talk a little bit of smack and say the slow way, the wheelchair way, but it's a way that I did in the beginning. I didn't know there was any other way. This is how I was taught. It's how I learned. The first programs I bought were all doing it the traditional rank and rent way, where you build it, you wait for it to rank, you do your things, and then you go and sell it, okay? And for me, unfortunately, I put myself in a position where I was in debt. I needed to make quick cash. I needed to get out of the debt quickly, and I didn't have 6 to 8 months to wait, not because I was impatient, but because I had debt. I was servicing the debt payment. I was trying to map out, hey, how can I get to $100,000 per month doing this business model? And I just couldn't see how I could doing it the slow way. And it's not just because it was slow. It's not just because it took money, but also because I didn't know when I built a website if it was even going to work until 6 months down the road. And then I was like, oh crap, that website, I built it in, this little town. I built a tree service site in Roswell, New Mexico, and there's no leads. Well, I wish I would have known that 6 months ago and $500 ago and all this time and effort, right? I didn't know that. Right. So then I started doing pre-selling and realized, hey, I can actually find out up front. I can run a few ads. I can go into the market, kind of like go into the future, see kind of how many leads am I getting? What's the business owner's appetite? See the market, see how the homeowners, are they cheap? Are they tire kickers? And I can test out the market before I even spend $1. And that's how I was able to scale from basically $8,000 to $10,000 per month. I use the traditional way to get to roughly $10,000 per month. And then I use pre-selling to get to $100,000 per month in 8 months. Okay. So what should you do? Well, what I would highly, highly recommend, guys, is that if you're just starting out, this is just my advice, okay? If you're and this is, by the way, the advice of somebody that's made millions of dollars doing this, who's coached almost 800 people, one of which is at $100,000 per month now, many of which are at over $50,000. So I've seen, and by the way, some of which are making no money because they're not doing anything that I teach, or they're not following the program, or they got distracted, or whatever the case is. So let's not pretend that everybody makes millions, okay? Just to get that out of the way. But I'm telling you, from somebody that's seen this time and time again, what I would highly recommend you doing is if you're brand new to this model, I would highly recommend you pre-sell to start. Why? Because it's going to cost you less money. Yes, you're going to have to run a few dollars in ads. So what? The business owner, once you land the deal, the business owner is technically paying for it anyway. You spend $150 in ads to get the deal. The business owner pays you $1,000. You just made your money back, dude. Or ma'am. Sorry if I called you dude. You just made your money back and you just saved 6 months. It costs you less money as long as you don't quit. As long as you don't quit and you know how to run ads. Now, if you don't know how to run ads, then obviously you can go learn it. That's something that I teach. But why would you, people always, there's this misconception that it's cheaper to do rank and rent. It's not cheaper. It costs you more money in the long run because it's going to take you more time. And that's not even considering, let's take out your time, but let's just talk about the hosting and the backlinks and the content and the VA that you paid to build it or the time that you spent to do it. I guess we said we're taking out time. All of these things, and then not even knowing if it's going to work, right? It actually ends up being as expensive or more expensive plus the time to do the traditional method. Okay. So if you're new and you're starting out, assuming that you're not just going to go and throw money at ads and you're going to let somebody teach you how to do it, me or somebody else, I would highly recommend you do pre-selling. Okay. Because you're going to save way more time, way more money. I would recommend you do pre-selling until you get to an amount that your bills are paid for. Okay. If it's $10,000 that your bills are, great. Once you get to 10K, then my advice changes just a little bit. Okay. But in the beginning, you should only do pre-selling. It only makes sense. Okay. And yeah, you might go into one city that you end up spending $500 to get the business owner. So what? You get the $1,000, you made your $500 back, and you're still $500 in the green. It's a no-brainer. Okay. When you're starting out, you do pre-selling. Now, if you're somebody that's more established, you've done pre-selling, you've escaped the rat race, kind of like myself, I actually think it's healthy to have both. So for me, I always have pre-selling deals going on. I'm always targeting an area, running ads, going after this, sending a few leads. I've always got a couple of those in the works, okay? But now that I'm established, now I'm making phenomenal money doing this, I'm also looking at opportunities of where can I build a website that I'm not going to pre-sell, that I know is going to work, and I'm slowly building that and building that inventory at the same time. Now, why do I say you shouldn't do that in the beginning? Because guys, in the beginning, you don't know what to look for. You don't know what a good city looks like. You don't know what a good niche and city combination looks like. I'm sorry, you just don't. And if you accidentally strike gold your first time, you're lucky. Okay, I got lucky the first time. I was in Huntsville, Alabama. Everybody in my group was in this program I took was talking about towing. I'm like, oh, towing Huntsville, done. And it ended up being low-hanging fruit. I got ranked in a couple of months, and I was lucky. Next one, I did the same thing, and I was not lucky. And it took me like 14 months to rank the website. Okay, 14 months to rank my second website. First one took me like 4. Second one took me 14 months, okay? I didn't know what to look for. I wasn't good at the due diligence process. And keep in mind, I wasn't just watching YouTube videos. I was literally in a course that I had bought, I think I paid $8,000 for that course that told me what was a good city and a good niche, but I didn't have the experience. I didn't know. And by the way, I think it was a bit outdated what they were telling me, but all of those things I didn't know. And so I ended up building all these different sites. I built a carpet cleaning website that I shut down. I built a landscaping site that I shut down. I didn't know what to look for. So it's not wise to go and build websites with your own hard-earned money in the beginning when you don't know exactly what to look for. So my advice, if you're brand new, do pre-selling until you hit a comfortable amount where you've escaped the rat race. And then you, at that point, are going to have enough experience. You're going to know what to look for. And you can start building out a few projects and start ranking them and knowing, hey, I've seen this 100 times by now. I've made the money. I've seen the good niches. I've seen the bad niches. I've seen the good city and niche combinations, the bad ones. You have a lot better idea of what's going to be good, what's going to be bad. And then I think you diversify and you have a combination. So my business is both. I have websites that I'm ranking. I have websites that I'm pre-selling, but I don't care because it's the websites that I'm ranking, it's not breaking the bank. That's the thing. Okay. So this is my advice for you guys. Should you pre-sell or should you do the traditional way? Take it for what it's worth. I'll see you in the next video.